And I thought, oh, there's a God. He's really here. Wow, this is so neat. And he really is a God. And I was so excited. You know, for 2 weeks, I was on cloud nine because I was so happy to know that this life was not all there was, that there was a God. And there was more. But after a couple of weeks, it was like, oh, I'm going to have to do something about this. What am I going to do? You know, I didn't know what to do, but I knew in my heart that I had to respond to the fact there was a God. So I went searching, and I went to the bookstore, and I read books on heaven. I read books on hell. I read books about God. I read books about Satan. I bought a Ouija board. I did the Ouija board. I read tea leaves. I did horoscopes. You name it. I tried it because I wanted to know some answers. And you know, when you don't know something and you really want some answers, you're going to find them one way or the other. And today, there are so many evil avenues that we can take. You know, there's a psychic line you can call. You can get answers if you want them. You can read horoscopes. You can find answers. They're going to tell you. And you know, the devil, he lies, steals, and destroys. And he's going to tell you things if you're looking. So make sure that you're looking in the right place. Make sure you go to the right place. And I'm going to tell you how to find the right place. Because in my searching, I didn't find any answers. Nothing that really made me happy. And I kept thinking, no, this isn't right. The things that I got on the Ouija board, it was like, yeah, you know, it didn't really set good. But you know, I had a background in the church, and I kind of knew what was good and what was bad, except nobody ever told me what to do about it. Well, I decided I missed getting dressed up to go to church, and so I went to church again. I thought, if I could just get dressed up, maybe I'll feel better about myself. Maybe I'll even find some answers if I go to church. And so I had 2 little kids, and I thought Sunday school would be really good for them. And so we went to church. We got there, and unfortunately, I didn't hear about anything that I didn't know. I heard the same old thing. Well, after a while, my aunt, she called me. She said, you know what? She says, I would like you to come to our church and visit. It's bigger. So I thought, well, why not? So I went to a church. And after I'd been going there for a little while, a lady called me and she said, you know what? She says, one of the girls in our class just got saved, and we would like to invite you to our Bible study. Would you be interested in coming? Well, I didn't know what saved was all about, but I did want to go to the Bible study because I thought maybe they would have some answers. So I went. After I decided to go, we met the first time, and I didn't know exactly what I was going to hear, but I was anxious for anything. I was just looking for some answers. We sat down the first time, and she looked at me and she said, well, Judy, she said, are you saved? And I'm like, well, you know, what do you say? I didn't even know what it meant. And she said, well, here, let me show you. And so she pulled her Bible around, and she said, she read some scripture to me. And one of the scriptures was Romans 3:23, and it said that we missed the mark, that none of us are as good as we should be. And I thought, yeah, that's me. I'm not as good as I could be. I know I'm a sinner. I know that. And then she read a verse from Romans 12:10, I think it is, that said that if we confess God and believe that Jesus was raised from the dead, that we believe Jesus and that he was raised from the dead, that if we really and truly believe that God raised him from the dead, that we could be saved. And it was like, wow, yes, is that all I need to do? Is that all I need to say to be saved, to know that I'm going to go to heaven and be with God someday? So I decided to do that. And I said, yes, God, you can have me. Yes, Jesus, I invite you into my life. I want you in my life. When I said that, it felt like 5,000 pounds just lifted right off my shoulders. Literally. It was gone. And it felt so good. It just felt so good. I knew that something happened.